He sacrificed his soul voluntarily to gain immortality. He let the spicy strips merge with his body. But the price was being cursed by local natives. He was doomed to live forever trapped in the Amazon basin and could never leave. Centuries passed by. Their bodies had long rotted away completely with time. To break the curse, they had to find the hidden moon temple in the swamp. Legend has it that on the full moon night, the dead tree in the temple would come back to life. It would bloom extremely gorgeous and exotic flowers. Eating the flowers could make flesh grow from bones and rebuild one's body for thousands of years. This divine tree has been the ultimate goal of all explorers. Mike was one of them. To save his dying daughter, he led a team across the ocean for an expedition deep into the jungle. But the mysterious Amazon rainforest never accepted these outsiders at all. Team members fell one after another. Finally, Mike also collapsed to the ground unwillingly. Just as he was about to die, the tribe guarding the divine tree suddenly appeared. The kind chief saved them. He took them back to the tribe and cured everyone with the magic flowers. Having seen the magic of the petals with his own eyes, desperate to save his daughter, Mike completely lost his head. He not only rudely asked the chief for the sacred relic, but also threatened him to lead the way to find the magic flowers. After being refused by the chief, Mike completely lost his mind. He even raised his knife against his benefactor. The entire tribe was brutally wiped out. At the critical moment, the chief's daughter fled in a hurry with the sacred relic. Facing these ungrateful guys, the chief used his last bit of strength to cast a spell, cursing all outsiders to never leave the Amazon forever. But at that moment, Tom accidentally found out. Thanks to taking the magic flowers, they all gained immortality. This made Mike, trapped here, even more hateful. He stabbed Tom 8 times as soon as he found him, to escape the fate of being killed every day. Tom set a trap, luring Mike and his minions into a bottomless pit. Since the jungle failed to drag them into the Amazon River, it stretched out vines to wrap them up tightly, sealing them in stone statues. The endless years kept torturing their bodies. Their souls were slowly corroded by various creatures, eventually turning them into monsters completely. On the other side, during this time, Tom built a small town nearby. As more and more outsiders settled here, he started building a private cruise ship, naming it the Goddess of the Moon. He wanted to search every river in the Amazon, find the temple and break the curse. Unfortunately, without hints from the sacred relic, Tom never succeeded in finding it. Helplessly, he had to gradually accept his fate, working as a guide in the Amazon, until one day, a biologist named Lisa came to him, wanting to hire Tom to go deep into the swamp, to find the moon tear. When he saw the map she took out, a map he had drawn hundreds of years ago, Tom burst into laughter immediately, advising her not to chase that unrealistic legend. Unexpectedly, during their talk, he accidentally noticed, around the woman's neck, there was actually the sacred relic that held clues to the temple. Tom changed his mind right away, saying only he could take her through the death swamp. However, as everyone was packing to set sail, a huge submarine suddenly emerged from the water. The man on it was a German royal who was also looking for the moon tear. For this, he spent a fortune, stealing the sacred relic from a museum. He wanted to use the moon tear to create an immortal army, thus changing the outcome of World War I, and ruling the world completely. But Lisa, who wanted to find the magic flowers to benefit humanity, beat him to it. Furious, the man sent his armed submarine, bombarding Tom's shabby boat fiercely. If they sank the boat, they could retrieve the sacred relic from the water. Seeing them launch torpedoes at everyone, Tom had to make a bold move. He went full speed ahead towards the gentle slope. The ship leapt forward with inertia, dodging the bombs narrowly. They managed to escape with their lives. Meanwhile, the unhooked steel cable in the water happened to wrap around the propeller of the chasing submarine. The huge armed submarine ran aground instantly. Considering the Amazon has countless intertwined tributaries, it would be extremely hard to find Lisa, who took the sacred relic. Left with no other choice, the German prince decided to visit someone. That someone was none other than Rod Mack, sealed in a deep pit for centuries without seeing the light of day. The German officer took out water from the Amazon River and poured it on the statue. It instantly woke up the sleeping monster. The two had the same goal. Both wanted to find the legendary moon tear, so they struck a deal right away. They planned to steal the sacred relic back from Lisa. As the German officer pressed the detonator, a gap blew open in the dam, blocking the riverbed at once. Raging water rushed down and flooded the cave. The monster's dried-up bodies were quickly nourished. They finally broke free from the seal. They took human form in the jungle. They used bees as scouts. They soon tracked down Tom and the others. At that time, with the help of the tribal chief, Lisa finally confirmed the temple's exact location. But before they could set sail, danger quietly closed in. The toad monster attacked first. It used mud to take out the guards. The tree demon sneaked in right after. It silently took down the sentries. Mac had no use for hiding. He let his body form from countless snakes and showed up in the tribe. A tribesman swung his blade to kill the monster in front of him. But then, a green snake slithered out of Mac's wound. It instantly took the man's life. Even Tom and his companion got cut off. They were about to die. Luckily, at the critical moment, the tribesmen swarmed in. Tom and his companion got a chance to turn and run. But Mac's soul was already corrupted by the snakes. Even the dagger he threw turned into a long snake. Tom quickly stepped on it to kill it. When he looked up again, he saw Lisa was wrapped tightly by the tree demon. Left with no other choice, he swung his axe to save her. But he accidentally woke the hidden tree demon. To buy Dr. Lily time to escape, Tom had to bite the bullet and fight the tree demon. But then the mud monster and bee monster showed up at the same time. Ordinary humans like them stood no chance. They started falling one after another. Seeing the crisis, Dr. Lily grabbed a torch right away. With Tom's help, she dried out the mud monster's moisture. They barely took it down for the time being. But next up was the bee monster, which had no obvious weaknesses. The bee monster ripped the sacred relic from Lisa's neck. It tossed it to Mac casually. Seeing they'd achieved their goal, Tom chased right after, trying to snatch the relic from the snake-like monster. Unexpectedly, the monster stabbed him through the heart with a sword. The monster looked arrogant and smug. Tom made up his mind. He let the sword pierce right through his body. He grabbed the relic at the last second before falling. Then he threw it to Lisa. He himself fell into the bottomless abyss. The two siblings didn't have time to think. They cut the rope at once. They used a canoe to cushion their fall. They made it safely to the ground. The tribal chief knew Mac's weakness. He told Lisa to run deep into the jungle, because once those monsters got out of the river's sight, the curse would strike back. They'd be dragged back into the abyss. Lisa finally managed to shake off the monsters, but just as she thought Tom had sacrificed himself for everyone, she found him alive by the river. To lift Tom's immortality curse, Lisa asked the tribal chief to send her injured brother with a broken leg away first. She and Tom headed to where the moon temple was buried. Lisa stepped hard on the ancient tomb's mechanism. It instantly changed the geological structure. It drained the water above them. As the bottom gate slowly opened, the water level dropped at a visible speed. Before long, the moon temple, hidden for centuries, appeared in front of them. But just as Tom hoped to use the magic flower in the temple to lift his immortality curse, a huge submarine blocked their path. It was the German officer, who had taken Tom's brother-in-law hostage, to fulfill his ambition of ruling the world. The German officer threatened Lisa to hand over the sacred relic. He then ordered his men to take Tom and the others hostage and go find the magic flower. He didn't notice a scout bee flying far away quickly, but when everyone reached the moon temple, they found the tree of life had long withered and decayed. It had lost all its magic power. The German officer flew into a rage. He decided to kill Lisa right then and there. At the critical moment, Tom stepped up. He said he knew how to activate the sacred tree. The man handed over the relic, still half convinced. Seeing this, Tom quickly snapped the broken sword apart. He told Lisa to embed the ruby into the statue's chest. He then took out the arrow and slid it into the groove. A bright flash of light appeared. It shot up like an arrow into the sky. It spread rapidly along the solid parts, bathed in moonlight. The once withered tree of life suddenly came back to life. It bloomed one enchanting magic flower after another. Everyone was mesmerized and couldn't look away. Tom quickly signaled Lisa to shoot him. Using his immortality, he tricked the German officer into focusing on the flowers. He snuck into the lake, attacked from underwater, and quietly boarded the canoe. He teamed up with his brother-in-law and took them down. Lisa heard the signal, spun around and pushed the guard away. As the guard fell, she grabbed the rope and jumped into the air. She raced to get the magic flower first, but the moonlight was fading fast. The tree of life quickly lost its power. The magic flowers in the shadows fell off in droves. They were so close to success. Yet it slipped away. In this moment of crisis, Lisa moved swiftly and nimbly. She grabbed the magic flower just before the moonlight vanished completely. Before she could celebrate, the branches under her feet suddenly rotted and broke. She almost fell to her death. Seeing this, the German officer immediately clipped on a safety rope. He told Lisa to hand over the magic flower. Reminded by Lisa, Tom quickly changed direction. He caught the magic flower right at the bow of the boat. Just then, something unexpected happened. The scout bees flew back. They slowly formed into a human shape. The demons trapped in the Amazon for centuries had long coveted the flower that could break their curse. They killed the German officer without hesitation. They turned and attacked Dr. Lisa to save his beloved. Tom held up the flower to distract Mike. He then forced his brother-in-law and pet leopard off the goddess. He planned to crash into the underground palace to cut off the endless Amazon river flowing in. Only then would the demons suffer the curse's backlash and turn into stone statues. But the tree demon wouldn't let him succeed. It smashed through the glass to stop Tom. The bee monsters jumped in to help. They choked Tom by the throat tightly. Tom was a fierce fighter, but against these immortal creatures with incredible healing powers, he soon grew tired and was overpowered. Mike controlled the snake and pried open Tom's hand. He realized Tom had switched the flower with something else. Tom had swapped the real flower earlier. He left it as a farewell gift. He asked his brother-in-law to give it to Lisa. Mike finally reacted and tried to escape, but it was already too late. The goddess of the moon crashed into the wall at full speed. The river water pouring in rushed out through the gap at once. The natives' curse on everyone took effect immediately. Vines wrapped around them tightly. They were pinned to the wall and turned into stone statues forever. Lisa was heartbroken at the sight. She'd hated Tom with all her heart at first, but after just a few days of adventure together, she'd fallen deeply in love with him. She suddenly remembered the legend. The moon's tear might break the curse. She fed the last petal into Tom's mouth right away, but the petal blew away in the wind the next second. Lisa's heart sank completely. She was about to run away from this place of sorrow. She felt a strange connection in her heart. Fine cracks appeared on Tom's face. The stone on his hands started to flake off. The curse was finally broken. He no longer had to be trapped by the Amazon River. At the end of the story, Tom went back to London with Lisa. They started a sweet life together.